So join us. See what shenanigans we get into next. Who knows, maybe somewhere along the way, you'll find your favorite winemaker. You'll never guess what happened the night before leaving to shoot in Sonoma back in August. You see, Ricky and I always planned to hang out with 3 wineries in each series. But then, the phone rings. The night before we're supposed to leave, one of the winemakers is in the hospital. I kid you not, I thought we were in a Taylor Sheridan script. We were lucky enough to reschedule this quickly, and we just got back from hanging out with the boys from Bedrock. We're checking in with Morgan and Chris just down the road from Sonoma Plaza at one of their favorite haunts.
Juanita, that
the OG.
The OG spot, yeah.
Has so much style and character.
True Sonoma terroir.
Yeah, this is actually post-remodel. We used to have just all of our childhood art up and down the walls. Like my little brother had paintings up here. It's just been a place where people have known for generations. Like actually, back in the day before they actually moved, they used to be cash only, and they would put the check on the back of an old Ravenswood label. So they like all the leftover Ravenswood labels that were used for bottling, they would bring them here and they would just use them to like put your tab on and then put it on the table.
I mean, piñatas from your birthday.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not Mexican, it's not Californian, it's not even like Cal-Mexican, it's like Juanita cuisine.
We took the liberty of ordering some chicken chipotle plates, which is like their like signature dish here, which I think is one of the best dishes in the valley.
He's not complaining at all.
Never.
Yeah, you gotta have a chicken chipotle plate
Right.
when you're at Juanita.
So I am really happy that we were able to reschedule this because we were supposed to shoot back before harvest.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true.
Everything's all right, feeling good, up and around?
Everything's good. They would not allow me to do this from the emergency surgery bed.
Oh, no.
So I'm glad we were able to reschedule.
Glad you're doing better.
Yeah.
So you've been, I mean, this is part of your childhood coming to this spot.
I've been coming here since I was, tiny little kid. Did I take you here the very first time you came to Sonoma?
Literally picked me up at the airport, drove me up here. I was 19.
Yeah.
I'd never been to California before. Picked me up at the airport, drove me up here, picked up a burrito here, and then went to Bedrock Vineyard.
I like the game.
That was literally my first 3 hours in California.
Man, you just got California smacked all up in your face.
I mean, if you're gonna have a real Sonoma experience. That's
and it was showing off that day too. It was like the light, and I'm like, yeah.
Yo, what are you guys drinking? Let me get on one of those.
Oh,
You wanna? I feel terrible. I didn't offer you a beer. I'm providing you.
Wow!
Katie, whenever you get a chance, can we get two more? Thank you.
Oh, wow. We all get them.
Well, and it's all with lemon limes from Katie's Tree.
Oh,
So
perfect.
they also make this in a burrito form,
Oh.
which is like during harvest. Because this place is exactly halfway between the vineyard and the winery, so it's strategically a very easy place to like call in an order from the vineyard as I'm driving.
thank you.
I might have to get one of those to go.
Take it on the plane with you.
So you're a Sonoma kid growing up, but Chris, you're from the East Coast, right?
Yeah, born in Staten Island, grew up mostly in a place called Warwick, New York, so kind of bridge and tunnel, New York City, blue collar. Yeah, and went to college in Manhattan, which was always the dream.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Katie. Went from bridge and tunnel, New York, to Manhattan my freshman year, and it was the dream, but my mom was also a single mom, so I really needed a college job. Should I tell the off-the-record part of
I
it?
think you just tell the off the record. I think
You want nothing that is on the record, sir.
Only the good
it's
stuff
all the
here.
statute of limitations.
Yeah, and so basically, like, I went to college when I was 17. So in Manhattan, it's impossible to get a job when you're 17. Like, to get by with a little extra cash, I may have, worked for a delivery service of some herbal products.
Tea. You sold tea.
I sold tea to...
Love it.
On a delivery service in Manhattan a couple days a week, and that gave pretty good pocket change.
Little
but-
hippie lettuce, okay, I get
Yeah, yeah, the devil's lettuce. Right when I turned 18 after my first semester, it was like I need to get a legit job because, if something happens, like I'll lose my financial aid and like it'll break my mom's heart. So there was this wine store on the Upper East Side hiring a delivery and stock boy for $10 an hour, and knew nothing about wine. Phil, the manager, liked me, and I got the job, and he almost immediately was like calling me over to like taste wine when a distributor was coming in to taste wines, and he's like, try these 2 wines, and I taste, they're both white wine. Phil goes, those are both Chardonnay, one's from Chablis, one's from California. And in that moment, like, it clicked. Phil let me taste wine there, and between him and there was this young guy working there who was in grad school. We became pretty close friends. They just started teaching about wine, and I fell in love with it pretty quickly. And that young guy in grad school was this guy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we became friends. And when I met Morgan, he was going to be a history professor. I was planning on becoming a lawyer. Yeah. And then...
Such a big city, but such a small world.
We just work long, slow retail hours together, and you either get really close or the opposite.
So growing up here in, kind of rural wine country, what made you go to the East Coast?
I knew I could get into Berkeley, but 45 minutes away, I can just imagine my mom bursting in on Sunday at 7:30 a.m. being like, "We're going to an Iyengar yoga class today." It would just be. Yeah, so I ended up going to a place called Vassar College in Poughkeepsie. I had a double major in history and poli-sci, and I loved it. The whole time I was in college, I still kind of kept tethered to the wine industry. So summer before I started college, I worked at Chelsea Wine Vault. While I was there, I sold a bunch of the wines that I made as a kid with my dad.
I heard that story. You actually made wine as a teenager, right? As my knowledge of wine evolves, a historical hypothesis is definitely emerging. The fine and artisanal wine scene in the U.S. didn't start to emerge until the run-up to the 1976 Judgment in Paris wine competition. Now, if that's news to you, sounds like there's a Google rabbit hole waiting for you, then again, you could check out the entertaining but slightly inaccurate Alan Rickman movie called Bottle Shop. It's no wonder the majority of wine on our shelves is dominated by cheap, mass-produced juice. Meanwhile, on the other side of the pond, old world producers have been grinding for generations on both affordable and the good stuff. And over here, we can't boast more than 60 years of even having the good stuff. And that's where folks like Morgan's dad, Joel, come in. Joel made his first vintage in 1976. While Joel may have been the young upstart in the next valley over, those were his fine wine contemporaries rocking Paris. And young Morgan had a front row seat. I heard that story. You actually made wine as a teenager, right?
So, no, I started when I was 5.
He was born in 1981. His first vintage was 1986.
My son has me beat. He started at 4.
When Morgan made wine at 5, it's very much Morgan made. By the time you were a teenager, though, you were really making it.
So you're approximately 40 vintages in.
Something, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Really, go all the way back.
Crazy.
We had gone on a trip to Burgundy. My dad really loved the wines, but I had also heard him swear that he would never make Pinot Noir. We got back home and I was like, "Dad, I want to make wine," and he was just like, "Okay, what do you want to make?" "I want to make Pinot Noir." And he's like, "Why do you want to make Pinot Noir?" And then I was just like, because I was 5, I was just like, "So you said you'd never make it."
The rebel inside.
Yeah, exactly. Luck would have it, my dad's landlord at the original old Ravenswood facility was Angelo San Giacomo from the San Giacomo family, which is one of the most prominent growers in the Carneros. And home offices were a 5-minute bike ride. And I would go and visit Angelo. And at one point I told him that I wanted Pinot Noir. Every single vintage until I left for college, a half a ton of Pinot Noir would show up for free at the winery for me to make.
Holy cow.
And I think one of those things that really makes the wine industry so special is that level of almost paying it forward to a kid.
Yes.
So my dad and I made that wine together. Very much at first my dad was making that wine and I was a spectator. Early on using 100% whole cluster, because I really like the wines at Romanconti and Dujac and doing all this stuff. What was wild
at
is
10.
Yes, yeah. 10,
At
11, 12.
I love Old Cluster and I love Domaine Dujac.
Yeah, we continue to make those wines every year, and it's 25 cases a year, starting in '86. I went to college in 1999, so I had accrued 13 vintages of wine at that point.
Wow.
And so when I was working at Chelsea Wine Vault, the owner allowed me to put on a tasting where I tasted all of the vintages of wine and the moxie I had back then. In this one day when I was 18 years old working at Chelsea Wine Vault, I sold the entire 86 and 91 vintages for the opening list at Blue Hill Restaurant.
Oh my God.
Paul Greco took all of the 97 for Gramercy Tavern. John Slover took all of the 96 for the opening of Craft.
Holy cow.
And Benedict took all of the 98 for Oriole.
Yep.
And so it was just this moment. 2 greatest things that came out of my time in New York was just one, fully understanding that I didn't want to do academia, and that I kind of really wanted to focus on wine. The second one is I found a lifelong best friend in Chris.
Great working with your best friend, but put earmuffs. But Morgan's brilliant and like passionate and like he was going for his NW. Like he was the young at the time. He was the youngest person to pass like the tasting portion of the NW. Like the first time I came out here after we went here and we were at Bedrock Vineyard, like the people that he was surrounded by, like it was infectious. The fact that you were like come be a partner in it, like it was like, how can I say no to that? I'll follow this guy.
There's also, perfect meshing of skills, though. So the one thing about being in business with each other is, for better or for worse, it's like you're constantly linked.
You either become that much tighter, or you start suing each other and never talk again. And so far, we haven't started suing each other.
So far, so good.
So strong, so strong.
It's a lot of work still. We're a small business. So it doesn't get easy.
I mean, we're 10 people in total, including Chris and I, full time. So, I mean, it's like, we're small but mighty, and we've always stayed like very lean and flexible. But like, I would say the big thing is when I started the winery, it was really buying all of our fruit. Like my dad bought Bedrock in 2003. I didn't know anything about farming. And I think the biggest shift that we've seen over the last 13 years and what will continue to be the shift is our focus on our vineyards, our farming. On top of that, like we can actually do things that actually really evolve the conversation about how our vineyards can actually be positive in terms of their environmental impact and their ecological impact. We can sequester carbon in them. We can do things that we cannot make just a really delicious, soulful, history-filled libation.
Yeah.
We also can do it while farming in a way that actually betters the planet, which is like a cool thing.
An amazing approach that a lot of people do not think about.
Yeah.
Just let me get some fruit from here and I'll make whatever I want. You're thinking about the steps forward and also the process in what you're doing, which is incredible.
The only way to really, truly understand what we're
Boots on the
doing,
ground.
you got to come out to Bedrock Vineyard and Evangelo Vineyard. Like, that's where you're going to see what we're really up to and what the future holds for us.
We brought some boots.
I sure did, because I was hoping they would ask me that.
Yeah, we got to go. I mean, the vineyard is the place.
Yeah.
Excited to go see some vines.
Let's go look at some old vines.
Old vines.
Appreciate
Yes.
you guys. We are so glad Morgan is on the mend and we were able to reschedule our visit so quickly. Looking forward to checking out Bedrock and Evangelo Vineyards. Sounds like they both have some amazing history, but couldn't be more different from each other. Before we head out to the vineyards with Chris and Morgan, let's head back to Jolie Lane to break some bread and, as Scott says, let some corks fall out of bottles.
Yeah. Can I finish my meal first? I've done pretty well, actually.
You did good.
I'm going to finish Chris's beans, so.
I'm taking this shit to go, bro.